All right, Jeffrey, I know this question has come up a number of times. I've seen, if I had a penny for every time I've seen you ask this question, I'd be rich. And it's about that performance of the moonwalk. And this keeps coming up because Shalamar was on stage. It was, I think it was a concert. Also, you perform this moonwalk. I think it was the first time this was done. Eventually, you have someone sort of draw you off stage with handcuffs or something like that. And now there's this thing about the moonwalk then was performed by Michael Jackson. So just tell us, who done it first? Did you actually coach or mentor Michael Jackson? Tell us in your own words what really went on this moonwalk thing, and where did you get it from?
Okay, I'm glad you're taking it back. Excuse me, to the genesis. Excuse me. Okay, what happened? I grew up as a Soul Train dancer. I was dancing on a TV show, Soul Train.
Yes.
So we're keeping up with the robot, locking, whacking, and then along came body popping with the electric boogaloos.
Yes.
And that's when I got into that with Casper and Cooley and the electric boogaloos.
Okay.
And so backsliding was one of the variants of the dance, the body wave, ticking, popping, and then there was the backslide. So I saw the backslide and I'm like, okay, so I actually pioneered it. Okay, I can't say I invented it or I created it, but I pioneered it. And I wanted to do it on stage with Shalamar, so I put the long strides in it. Now, I first exhibited it on Soul Train in 1979 with Casper and Cooley called Eclipse. Okay. So you go to YouTube and you'll see it. Then I did it again in 1980 when I was doing it with the RCA dog going backwards like I'm walking the dog backwards. That was 1980.
Okay.
Then I went to the UK and did it on Top of the Pops in 82. Then Michael finally did it in 1983 for the Motown 25th. So I'm like 79, 80, 81, 82, 83. Yes. I'm like 4 years ahead of Michael doing it.
Doing that.
Yeah. So, but the point is that we taught Michael the dance. Michael came to, we were performing at Disneyland, me, Howard, and Jody were performing at Disneyland. Michael came and brought little Janet Jackson. This is 1980.
Okay.
And they stood on the wing of the stage and I got a call that they wanted me to teach him to do the dance. Wow. And so I choreographed his Bad video. I choreographed his Smooth Criminal video. I went to Brazil with him for the
You
They Don't Really Care About.
the Bad video, yeah?
Yeah. I'm dancing in them too.
Yeah.
And then, I've worked with Michael over a 20-year period, off and on, over a 20-year period.
Fantastic stuff. All right. Now, I'm going to say, Howard has said he's been here a couple of times as well, too, even way back then. So I want to focus on you, Caroline, for a bit.
Yeah.
And whenever I've got interviews like this, you know what? If you're listening, you can't see Caroline, but we can see her on the video here. She actually hid her head, but that voice, Caroline, is so powerful. I've watched. I took my time and watched a few clips. And you get in there, and all of a sudden, it's just it's electric. Is this happening because what you saw Shalamar and you went? How has this happened? How has this magic happened where you're in there seamlessly, and it's like this group? It's almost like it can't exist without you, because that sort of brings this magic when you get on that mic and you're going. It's really, I feel it.
Wow.
So tell us.
Well, my connection, other than the fact that being Shalamar was my favorite group as a little girl.
Yeah.
Being the daughter of the person who, was a part of creating it.
Right, you've just peeped one of my questions. That was coming next, but go on.
But what I'm saying is, I don't say it lightly, because the fact that there were so many artists on the label, but from day one, Shalamar was always my favorite. I was in love with the music, in love with just everything. So, every song. It's funny, songs that we're asked to do that we normally don't do, I don't really have to relearn it because I already knew it.
Yeah.
And it was something that honestly, I never thought that would be a reality for me. That's never anything I looked forward to.
Yes.
But when the situation took place, it took time to really feel my place in it. You know, the guys were really, really, really great at guiding me, and, you know, giving me the courage to be able to do that, because there was a lot of flack. I got a lot of flack, and people, you would think that
Recording in progress.
Go ahead.
You would think that I just pushed Jody out and just ran in there, but people don't understand the timeline. That, my gosh, she left in '83.
Yeah.
So, 2001. So it's not. It was a demand that came back, and I feel blessed to be able to be where I am. And it wasn't a thing, well, it was grandfathered in. There's a lot of work. People have no idea what we've gone through, what we have lived through. And I think really I feel finally entitled to be where I am. And it's an honor for me. I don't take it lightly. I don't take it for granted. And it's just a blessing to be able to carry on such a rich and beautiful legacy.
But what it was, as far as like, also, because Jeffrey and I forget when it was, like 2000, in 1999, whatever it was.
99 and 2000.
99 and 2000, yeah. Jeff and I went to Japan. You know, we got an offer to go to Asia and do about 5-6 shows or something like that. And, you know, we called the basic, we called Jody and asked her if she wanted to come and do it. She was doing some other things in her career and stuff. So Jeffrey and I went. Went to Asia. We did the shows with our band.
Yes.
And then we went on to do stuff in the UK, a couple things there in Africa, I believe, as well.
Yeah.
And then, after a while, we said we wanted to bring the female entity back into the group. You know what I'm saying? And there was really no auditioning anybody. There was no, trying, as far as Carolyn was the perfect, addition to the group, not only because of her talent, which is amazing, and she looks great from the stage, but also, which was even just as important, was her history of the group.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It was like, she was there from the inception, from the conception of the group. And so, like, she knew the work that was put into it up to that point,
yes,
and respected the work that was put up to it at that point, and was willing to put in just as much work from that point on. So that was the thing.
So Howard, what are you trying to say? Are you trying to say when it was just me and you, I wasn't pretty enough? That's why you had to bring in Carolyn?
We tried to put a skirt on you. But, people left the auditorium.
Check this out. No. I'm going to tell you, what made it so difficult for Carolyn at first was this. As Carolyn said herself, which we already knew, Shalamar was her favorite group, and she loved Jody Watley, and Jody loved her as well. So when Jody didn't want to do it, Carolyn felt a little uncomfortable. She's like, wait a minute, but so it's not like she's replaced Jody, but as Howard said, we needed that female entity because with just me and Howard on stage, it didn't make sense. And that female entity is a very integral part of Shalamar. So Carolyn coming into it, she was a little uncomfortable. She said, well, wait a minute, but she rather had seen Jody be with us if it was up to her. But Jody, didn't want to take that road with us. So Carolyn grew into it. And it took her a while. We saw her going through things to fit into it. And some people were kind of like, even from Jody's camp, attacking her for being there.
Yes.
But Jody didn't want to be there.
Yeah.
But now Carolyn owns it. And she is the longest standing female member in Shalamar for over 20-something years.
I saw that.
Baby girl is tearing it up.
Yeah, she's killing. It's like, because people say to me, so Carolyn took Jody Watley's place. No. Carolyn created her own place.
Yes, sir.
We put her in that position. created her own place. With her talent, with everything that she has, and she created her own niche. And like Jeff said, you know, we kind of had to sit back and let her kind of go through the whole situation as far as with the fans and stuff are concerned, because she had to figure out what her footing was in that whole that whole thing.
Speaking from the point of view of a Shalamar fan, you know, and I'm pretty sure that I speak for all Shalamar fans that this has totally worked, and we are blessed for it. We certainly are. So Caroline, I'm speaking for them and saying thank you. You know,
thank you for that.
Thank
means
you
a lot.
Thank you.
Okay, now guys, let's have a little bit of fun here. What are your and this is always a difficult question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Any favorite Shalamar songs?
All of them.
That was easy.
All right. Okay. I will rephrase the question. Okay. What? Give me H8 starting with you. Give me what would be your top 3. I mean, there's so many, but what would be your top 3?
My top 3 Shalamar songs?
Yes.
One would be "I Can Make You Feel Good."
That's a great song.
I always love that song. And then I think, you know, "For the Lover in You" was very instrumental in crossing the group, because like Jeff always talks about, back in the day, I was never a real big fan of disco. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I always felt like disco was a prefabricated music and all. You know, my daughters call me a music elitist sometimes. You know what I'm saying? But so "This Is For the Lover in You" was very instrumental from taking us from that, you know, disco group to a pop, you know, R&B pop group. And then there's a song on the Look album called "You're the One for Me."
Woo!
That is like just one of my top favorite songs, man. I remember the process that we used, that we had going into the whole situation. We started, remember Leon Silvers and his crew. I forget who wrote the song, but they were all there from Leon's crew. But we started that vocal at 3:00 in the morning, right? At I think we were either at Larrabee or at Studio Masters in LA. And we started that vocal at 3:00 in the morning. We finished at about 9 or somewhere around there, and then went to a 10:00 showing of the first Star Wars movie, and sat there in the Egyptian Theater up on Hollywood Boulevard.
Hold on, did Jeffrey stay awake for that one?
I
was just getting ready to say, we were sitting up there
I didn't sleep in movies back then. Stop it. You know what?
Okay. But that's when we were 20-something years old.
Like, Jeffrey, give us your top 3 Shalamar songs.
I'm gonna give you my top 3. I'm gonna try to make this succinct though, because I want to add on to what Howard was saying.
Okay.
About the crossover from like the disco thing, because Jody and I came from Soul Train and there was a lot of dancing going on.
Yeah.
Then it was at the time where disco was getting popular. So some people looked at us as a disco group, right?
Okay.
Even when we crossed over, people still look at us as kind of like a light R&B pop group, right?
Yeah.
Now, if you go back to Howard's song, with especially "You're the One for Me," there's many other songs too.
Yes.
But people, go to YouTube, whatever, if you got the album, go back and listen to "You're the One for Me." Do you realize that we have a Marvin Gaye, we got a Luther Vandross, we got a Stevie Wonder in our group? I don't know if people really listen to Howard like that because they think, you know, they see Shalamar as a very upbeat, poppy group.
Yeah.
But Howard's vocals are on that level. This is not hubris. Yeah. Even me, to this day, sometimes I get goosebumps when I go back and listen to Howard's lead vocals, because Howard has always been on that level of a real R&B soul singer. He just happened to be in a group that was a little more upbeat and dance orientated.
Yeah, he actually mentioned the song where this occurred to me. But it's in the remix that the Babyface did of the Shalamar song.
For the Lover in You.
But yes. Now, in that song, you listen to his vocals in that song, and it's hang on a minute. Yeah. So
he's there.
So you're totally right. Yeah. And you guys are in the spirit, because you're touching on questions that I had written down, because I'm going to come back to that song.
Okay.
But I do want to get to your top three.
Okay.
Jeffrey.
The first one, I'm going to have to say, I'm going to be very biased with the first one. Okay. And I'm happy to be here to even say that, because Go For It was a big hit here.
Yep.
Than it was there. Yeah. And the reason why I'm so biased is because it's the first song that I produced for Shalamar myself. I'm playing bass, I'm playing keyboards, I'm playing the rototoms, I'm playing the kitchen sink. I picked up a dog and swung him. I'm pulling the dog's tail. No, but okay, Go For It is one. Since Howard already took one of my favorites, which is
I Can Make You Feel Good,
so I'm going to have to go with Sweeter As the Days Go By, which is also on the Go For It album.
The Days Go By.
And then I'll have to go with, I guess, A Night to Remember, because that's the song that was the catalyst for breaking us into the UK the way it did, because I did a dance performance to the song.
Yes.
And I want to say again that people really note my dance performance. You know, Jeffrey's dance performance really broke the group and blah, 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 blah. Yeah. But if we didn't have a record to dance to, I wouldn't have been able to do that dance performance. So, you know, so it was a song that came before the dance. But, you know, they're both intrinsically intertwined with each other.
Yeah.
A Night to Remember in my dance performance.
That was like when people talk about the popularity as far as like the group in the UK, that Top of the Pops performance was like what catapulted that whole situation. Because Top of the Pops was one of those shows where if you hit on top of the Pops,
that's right.
On Thursday night,
Thursday
night, Top of the Pops. If you hit there Friday, you saw your record sales go through the roof, and that's exactly what happened with when Jeffrey went to the UK and did that on Top of the Pops. That was like very cool.
All right, now, I'm gonna come to you in go ahead, Carolyn. Go ahead.
It's so funny because we're all in communication with the other groups on the Solar label, and we get calls all the time from Lakeside. I do, you know, how can you get us over there, or the different groups? And the thing is, it wasn't about getting them over here. It was the work that was done, like you say, with Jeffrey coming over and really, like Howard said, catapulting that performance. It's
thank you.
Okay, now confession. I'm actually doing my work here, because you see these top three you guys are giving. We're going to make these playlists, and they're actually going to run.
Wow.
On Classic FM. So I'm going to use these, and it's your turn now, Carolyn. Your top three. And you know what? Go back to that time that you were looking at. Oh wow, Shalamar. You know, go on.
Yeah, that time when you had my picture on your ceiling.
No, growing up, you know what? Over and Over has always been one of my favorites.
Boom. I knew we had something in common. That is honestly over and over.
Over and over. What's strange, and I just stopped by. You hear it, you know. And what I love when we perform it, because I get to do those songs.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think, upbeat. This is hard for me because I loved every Shalamar song. And no, it wasn't Work It Out. So don't.
That was big here. That was very big here too.
But you know what? I will say that I didn't realize until, you know, because we heard the advertisements and stuff like that. You know, as a kid, I did love that song. As an adult, maybe not as much. So if you're asking me to go back to the child, I think
yes.
But you know what? My last one, I think, if you're looking back from the kids, it was Dead Giveaway. You know, one of them was Dead Giveaway.
Dead Giveaway.
Such a turning.
God, I can't remember some. Oh, wow.
Dead Giveaway was another catalyst
Dead Giveaway.
Song too.
It was one of the first
song.
black videos played on MTV after Michael Jackson, Billie Jean.
Beat It.
Beat It.
And actually,
Billie Jean?
Actually, for me, that was one of the reasons, because I do remember this as a child. I remember my father having a discussion about the fact that how upset he was that there were no black videos on VH1, MTV, or whatever.
MTV.
MTV. It was MTV.
And he went and had a meeting. It was he and a couple other gentlemen. I think it was Clarence Avant and a couple of them. They went to the station and they went in, and the first one was Billie Jean. Second one was Dead Giveaway.
Wow.
So that was always thing in my mind that I remember, because it was angry.
Because you also had that historical interview with MTV and David Bowie, where David Bowie sat there and said, how can you call yourself a music entity and you don't play black music? He said, you can look that one up on YouTube. It was like, and the guy was like,
and there was a white guy saying this.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You know the funny thing about it, the UK, especially the UK and Europe, have always been endeared to black music more than white America, in a sense. There's more blue-eyed soul coming out of the UK than in America, but yet R&B comes from America.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I used to, when I first started, because I was with a show group before I got with the group and stuff with Shalamar, and we traveled overseas. So the first time I ever went over to the UK was in like 77, I think it was, and man, I went down to Piccadilly Circus, and that's an area there in the UK. And I took the tube down there, and got out, started walking around. And there was this Elizabethan theater, theater there, and all they had on there was a banner that said soul music. And I mean, they were wrapped around the block to get in there. Wow. So they've appreciated, there's been an appreciation of black music in the UK for years and years, all the way from the blues era.
Yes, sir.
Fantastic stuff. I could talk to you guys forever, but time does go fast when you're having fun. Now let's turn our attention to the 4th of October and Abuja, a night to remember.
Okay, so what's happening is, we've had a separation from here for so long, but we have such, as Howard said, people still approach him and talking about it. I still get approached about it.
Yeah.
People talked about when Shalamar came here in '82 and the impact that we had.
Yes.
And the effect that we had. And we decided we want to bring it back. Now, we talked to some promoters, and promoters were just dragging their feet. Some people said there's no market for Shalamar in Nigeria. We're like, what? And so we took the bull by the horn. My brother right here, Bright, with I Create Africa, and my First Culture company, we decided, let's take the bull by the horns and make this happen.
Yes.
And people don't know. I'm begging, borrowing, almost stealing to get us here, because we want to reconnect with the people that we know that are fans here, and we decided to do that. And we want to reconnect. We want to recreate that magic.
Yes.
Because the people who are our generation and our age set, they're still here.
That's right.
Now we respect the new school.
Here I am.
Yeah, we respect the new school, the DeVitos and the Burna Boys and the Tiwa Savage and Tim's and, Wizkid and Rema. I mean, it's amazing what the Nigerian artists are doing, especially globally. But our generation are still here.
We are.
And we're going to reconnect with them, and we're going to, like we say, make it a night to remember. We're going to have the time of our life. You know that, and I don't mean to blow our own horn, you guys, but you have to understand something. Shalamar is pretty much one of the last of the high performance groups from that era. And
now, in case you just tuned in, I'm talking to Shalamar. We have with us Howard Hewitt, Jeffrey Daniels, and Carolyn Griffey. They are Shalamar. Now, Shalamar is going to be live on stage for a night to remember in Abuja at the International Conference Center in Abuja on the 4th of October. Now, you just heard Jeffrey and Howard break it down that what you are going to be getting on the night is a full package. It's everything that represents Shalamar. So, so let me drop this bomb. I'm going to be 60 next year. So I am right in there. Okay. and so if I'm this excited, I know you're excited too. We're looking forward to it. If you're listening to the station, you'll get the information about where and how you can get tickets. That's running on air. I'll actually try and line it up so you get to listen to it as soon as we're done. As soon as we're done here. But we're going to leave the final word today to, I could say she's the baby of the group.
Baby girl. Carolyn Griffey. That's why we call her baby girl.
I do get the last word.
Oh, but wait a minute. Before we close out with her.
That's all right. Never mind.
Before we close out, do you guys realize that her mother is Carrie Lucas, who's the first lady of Soul Train and Solar Records?
Carrie Lucas?
Yeah, that's Carolyn's mother.
For real?
Yes.
Wow.
Mama. Yeah.
Wow.
Show me where you're coming from, baby.
I told you she was in the
Show me
spirit
where
because
you're
that's exactly what I was going to do just for the fun of it.
He's got it already up there, Carolyn. I saw it. I choreographed that video.
That's so funny because last night I was on the phone with the DJ, and he asked me if I knew the difference, but he said, the "Show Me Where You're Coming From" versus the group Today's "Girl, I Got My Eye on You."
Yeah.
Have you heard that?
I have heard that. Yes.
Same song. And I did have a go at Teddy Riley. I said, Teddy.
Yep.
I know where you got
Wow.
Yep.
Okay. Great stuff. Honestly, this is a light bulb moment for me. Okay. Well, let's say big shout out to Carolyn's mommy. Big shout out. But Carolyn, you had the last word. You were going because sadly we do have to go until we meet in Abuja. So go ahead.
Well, I look forward to it. So excited for this opportunity, and definitely to be coming back home to the motherland because we've been waiting to get back there. And definitely, look, you can take that to the bank. There's definitely going to be a night to remember, and it's not just a cliche. That's the real thing.
The absolute real thing. It'll be a fantastic night. I'd like to say a big thank you to Howard Hewitt, Jeffrey Daniels, and Carolyn Griffey, who are Shalamar. Thanks for coming through the Classic FM.
Thank you very much, Chico.
Bless you guys.
And to all your listeners out there, all your beautiful listeners out there, thank you all very much.
Because Shalamar's coming to town.
We are Shalamar.